So we try to now put forth an analysis for you. If it does become Kharge versus Modi fight, what will it look like? Let's take a look one by one on the strengths, weaknesses and importantly the characteristics of both individuals. Prime Minister Modi on one side, remember, 73 years old, only non-Congress Prime Minister with 2 straight terms and looking at a hat-trick now. Mallikarjun Kharge, 81 years of age, first non-Gandhi to helm the Congress in over 20 years. So that's going to be very crucial. He has that leadership quality, has been able to at least lead the party. What happens with regard to when Prime Minister Modi, who stands right now having led the BJP not just at the centre, but victories one after another in the assembly states, for example, as latest as we have seen in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and in Rajasthan. For Mallikarjun Kharge also, it is individually also, remember, he's won 10 straight elections. He's won Karnataka Legislative Assembly. He's been the Lok Sabha Member of Parliament for several years and has been now in the Rajya Sabha too. For Prime Minister Modi, he's made clearly BJP a pan-India party. He's trying to make inroads into the southern states. For Mallikarjun Kharge, there had been factionalism, there had been different issues. He's tried to also revive the Congress party in a lot of ways to ensure it can then take on the BJP. For Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he is becoming a popular global leader as well in multiple surveys, his leadership, and not just with regard to the connect to the masses, which is of course humongous, but also with regard to other leaders, for example, like the Italian Prime Minister, US President, who have been sharing individual friendship as well with the Prime Minister. Mallikarjun Kharge, meanwhile, with regard to caste equations, is one of the tallest Dalit leaders, has made that representation, and then to be leading the Congress party is definitely a game changer. Now, for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, remember, he has the electoral benefits right now with regard to the elections he's been winning, but as much with regard to the connect that he has made, saying, I do not believe in caste. The only caste for me are the poor people who need to be uplifted, apart from, for example, women as well. For Mallikarjun Kharge, he's also a popular face in the southern state of Karnataka locally and has now been able to come to the national representation as well for the Congress party. So different characteristics for both that are working to their benefit. For Prime Minister Modi, his own OBC background that clearly cuts appeal across castes. So even though he comes from a certain caste group, he's definitely tried to make and ensure that there is no caste issues. That with regard to his vote, it is all about one group, one community. And he says, I do not believe in playing caste politics. While for Mallikarjun Kharge, he's had electoral victories in Himachal Pradesh and Telangana. That's happened under his leadership. And that clearly is reflective that he can also go ahead and take on the bigger mantle for 2024. For Prime Minister Modi, it's the Hindi heartland that he's clearly caught. While for Mallikarjun Kharge, he does have the full trust of the Gandhis. So even though Gandhis are not leading it, they clearly feel he is the best bet of the Congress party.
All right, so Mallikarjun Kharge is it versus Prime Minister Modi for 2024. If it is Kharge, then we're going to take you through the strengths and weaknesses of the man who's managed to win a whopping 10 elections without a loss. In fact, he's been known or called as Soul Illada Sardara. That's the Kannada phrase that's been used to describe Mallikarjun Kharge, who's shown his prowess over the years as an MP. In fact, Mallikarjun Kharge, as opposition Prime Minister face, his strength here is that he is one of the tallest Dalit leaders that the Congress has been boasting of. His weakness, though, that he has no electoral base outside Karnataka's Gulbarga, though he's won multiple times there, but his experience largely lies in Karnataka, with now him handling the mantle as a Congress chief. Of course, he's had great exposure, but just in the last 6 months or a little more than that. Kharge, as the opposition Prime Minister's faced, his another strength would be vast organizational and administrative experience. So he's been known as a man who, as an organizational man who's worked up the ranks within the Congress and has helped Congress strategize on many levels. His weakness, though, that he's lost his own Lok Sabha seat finally in 2019. After multiple wins in 2019, he lost the Lok Sabha seat there. Now, the strength that he also boasts of is that he's a leading South Indian face. At best, we know that the Congress has great clout and ground in the southern part of India, and Mallikarjun Kharge seems to be the tallest South Indian leader. His weakness, as some may call it, some may deny it, that he may not be as charismatic as Prime Minister Modi. If you have to compare Mallikarjun Kharge to Modi. He's not as charismatic as what some say. Some would argue on the same. Of course, as we see that his strength here is that he's won a record 10 consecutive elections, though he lost out in 2019, but he's a man who's won multiple elections, so he knows what it takes to win an election. He knows strategizing fairly well. But what also could work against him is that his age now is not really on his side. He's now inching towards 80. So it's going to be a big question if Mallikarjun Kharge has the zeal and energy to go forward to counter the Modi government. Now, I'm going to take you through some of the opportunities and the threats. As we see here, the opportunity that Mallikarjun Kharge has is that all opposition parties may very willingly support him, because I did mention he doesn't really pose an absolute threat to many of the regional party leaders. He's not someone who has his own political party. Basically, he's not a parivarvad, as the BJP calls it. Dynasty politics is really not an allegation against him as yet. So here we see Mallikarjun Kharge, who might be unanimously supported by the India bloc members. One of the threats that we also see is that there are anti-Congress parties who may not support him entirely. Of course, he will be bringing in the Dalit votes. Undoubtedly, that's one of the strategies of the Congress, that a Dalit has been made the chief of the Congress party to sort of harness Dalit votes across India. Now, one of the opportunities he also has is that the BJP can't really paint him as a dynast. Like I did mention, he is not a man who can be accused of parivarvad. Though his son is an MLA in Karnataka, nonetheless, they've both worked within the party, grown in the ranks, and have become politicians in their own right. He's been a very loyal Gandhi, a loyalist to the Gandhi family. So it appears that Mallikarjun Kharge has worked his way up to the Congress higher ranks now to become the chief. One of the threat, of course, as we see, as many of the non-Congress parties might not entirely support him. Now, the rumblings in the opposition ahead of the India Alliance Mega 2024 Lok Sabha Dangal. In the fourth India meeting that took place just yesterday, once again, the differences in the alliance that we have spotted, that's come to fore, is the fighting over agendas. Besides Nitish and Lalu reportedly being miffed over Kharge's name being proposed as the alliance Prime Ministerial candidate, there are a few other problems also that surfaced. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar reportedly lost his cool when DMK MP T.R. Balu asked for a translation of his speech to be made, which Nitish Kumar was speaking in Hindi. T.R. Balu from Tamil Nadu said, I want it to be translated into his language. And this 3-hour-long meeting of India bloc leaders, a lot of it was not understood by T.R. Balu from Tamil Nadu. This is what we hear, that he asked for a translation of that entire meeting, while Nitish Kumar got miffed. He said, we are Hindustan, our national language is Hindi, and we will not translate the language for you. You must ideally know Hindi. This is not something that you need to ask for. So he opposed RJD's Manoj Jha from translating that entire happening within the India bloc into English or any other language. As Nitish Kumar has flared up, we hear that the other India bloc members have said that they should not bring language as a divide within the India bloc meetings.
राष्ट्रपति का अपमान किया है, क्या वो स्वीकार है? ये बड़ा सवाल खड़ा होता है।
सर वो कह रहे हैं कि क्या मैं भी ये कह सकता हूँ कि मुझे बोलने का मौका इसलिए नहीं मिलता कि मैं दलित हूँ? तो
उनको एक बार नहीं अनेक बार अवसर मिले, लेकिन सवाल ये खड़ा होता है कि क्या वो चर्चा करना भी चाहते हैं, चर्चा में भाग भी लेना चाहते हैं? कांग्रेस और अन्य विपक्षी दल तो चर्चा से भाग रहे हैं। देश देख रहा है कि रोज हंगामा करते हैं, तख्तियां लेकर आते हैं, हल्ला गुल्ला करते हैं और अपनी चुनाव की पराजय से देश का ध्यान भटकाना चाहते हैं और ये नहीं देखना चाहते और ना ही उससे सीखना चाहते हैं कि उनकी पराजय हो चुकी है, चुनावों में उनकी करारी हार हुई। चुनाव की पराजय से हताश और निराश विपक्ष, ये दोनों उनके चेहरे पर नजर आती है। हार से बौखलाहट और हार की बौखलाहट। और ये जो कुकृत्य किया गया है, और जिस तरह से उसको पिक्चराइजेशन करके एम्प्लीफाई किया गया, उसका प्रचार प्रसार करने के लिए कोई और नहीं, श्रीमान राहुल गांधी स्वयं लगे थे। ये न केवल उपराष्ट्रपति जी का अपमान किया है, बल्कि एक बड़े समुदाय का अपमान किया, जिनको अवसर मिला। देश में अगर देखा जाए, राष्ट्रपति जी के बाद उपराष्ट्रपति जी का पद आता है, और उसको भी अपमानित करने में कांग्रेस ने और सहयोगी दलों ने कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ी। पहले राष्ट्रपति जी का अपमान किया, तो अनुसूचित जनजाति का जिस तरह से अपमान किया गया, वो देश ने देखा। कांग्रेस के सांसदों ने, कांग्रेस के नेताओं ने राष्ट्रपति जी के अपमान में भी कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ी। अब उपराष्ट्रपति जी का भी अपमान नहीं सहेगा हिंदुस्तान। ये संविधान का भी अपमान है, उपराष्ट्रपति जी का भी अपमान है। और सबसे बड़ी बात यह है, ना सोनिया गांधी जी, ना राहुल गांधी जी, ना खड़गे जी और ना ही ममता जी, किसी ने इस पर ना इसकी निंदा की, ना इस पर माफी मांगी और ना ही कोई प्रयास किए। आखिर विपक्ष चाहता क्या है? विपक्ष चाहता है लोकतंत्र की हत्या करना, संविधान का अपमान करना, संवैधानिक पदों पर बैठे लोगों का अपमान करना। और जो रोज जाट समुदाय में देखा जा रहा है, जिस तरह के देश के अलग अलग कोनों से, उत्तर से लेकर दक्षिण तक, ये देखने को मिला कि उपराष्ट्रपति जी के पक्ष में लोग निकलकर बाहर आए। वहीं पर एनडीए के सांसदों ने राज्यसभा में खड़े होकर उपराष्ट्रपति जी के सम्मान में एक संदेश दिया है विपक्ष को कि ये देश संवैधानिक पदों का सम्मान करता है। हम एनडीए के सांसद संवैधानिक पदों का सम्मान करते हैं। और स्वयं प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने, राष्ट्रपति जी ने, लोकसभा स्पीकर ने उपराष्ट्रपति जी से बात करके इस कुकृत्य पर इसकी निंदा भी की, खेद भी प्रकट किया। लेकिन दुर्भाग्य ये है कि जब ममता बनर्जी जी से सवाल पूछा गया तो उन्होंने कहा इसको कैजुअल लेना चाहिए। उपराष्ट्रपति जी का अपमान, इसको कैजुअल लेना चाहिए। दूसरी बात उन्होंने कही कि राहुल गांधी जी अगर वीडियो नहीं बनाते तो ये एम्प्लीफाई कैसे होता, ये कैसे देश के सामने आता है, देश इसका नोटिस कैसे लेता है। आप कल्पना कीजिए कि क्या स्तर राजनीति का हो गया है। वो लोग जो सत्ता में आना चाहते हैं, प्रधानमंत्री बनना चाहते हैं, वो ऐसे एक्ट करके, यानी कि एक वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग करके, जब उनको आलोचना करनी चाहिए थी इस एक्ट की, राहुल गांधी जी स्वयं वीडियो बना रहे थे। ये दिखाता है कि क्या विपक्ष, ये प्रश्न चिन्ह खड़ा होता है, क्या विपक्ष मानसिक संतुलन खो चुका है? क्या चुनाव की पराजय से हताश और निराश विपक्ष, अब एक सवाल ये भी खड़ा हो रहा है, क्या उनका मानसिक संतुलन भी खो गया है? मैं इसलिए बात कर रहा हूं कि सामान्य व्यक्ति ऐसी घटना को अंजाम नहीं दे सकता है। और देश को तो देखकर हम सब लोगों को लगा कि आखिर इमोजी आजकल बहुत पॉपुलर है, तो क्या लगता है, तो ऐसे देखने को लगता है। मैं एक सवाल यहां पर जरूर पूछना चाहूंगा कि देश से जुड़े हुए विषयों को सदन में क्यों नहीं उठाने दिया जा रहा, संसद में भाग क्यों नहीं ले रहे? और जाट समुदाय का अपमान, उपराष्ट्रपति का अपमान, संवैधानिक संस्थाओं का अपमान, संविधान का अपमान, संविधान निर्माता बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर का अपमान तो उन्होंने किया ही था। अब संवैधानिक संस्थाओं और संवैधानिक पदों पर बैठे लोगों का अपमान भी करने में विपक्ष कहीं पीछे नहीं हटा।